So let's welcome up Bill Shireman, uh, leader of EarthX, which, I've been blessed to be traveling to a number of events of late and attending some and hearing about many others. And EarthX is one that there's been so much buzz around in terms of the folks, these kinds of folks that are in the room today, but also folks innovating on the founder side, on the tech side, and a shining example of someone congregating those doing good. Bill's going to be speaking about 10 unlikely allies for transformative change. Let's make him feel welcome.
I'm so impressed with the gathering today and so glad that you are all here. I hear such resonance in the words that you're expressing. Usually I'm in rooms where there are so few people that have focused on system change and understanding complex adaptive systems and the path that we are on toward what I think is a new culture that has so much potential for good. And meanwhile, we are focused on the bad, we're focused on the threat, we're focused on the risks that we're taking. And so I want to pass along two stories and one invitation, if I may, is two stories in my life experience, each of which taught me a very powerful lesson, a very powerful lesson that anyone can put into place. And then an invitation to engage in a process where we will put those lessons into practice. We are doing it right now, and I invite all of you to participate in a monthly Zoom call and to come to Dallas, Texas, April 21st through 23rd or 25th. But our stuff is going to be April 21st, 23rd. But please come to Dallas. Well, we'll have 10 groups of distinctive power there. 10 groups that have distinctive kinds of power. But when you connect these kinds of power together, you get transformative change. And it really happens. It is not just the generic, here's money is power, let's get the money so that we can do the things to save the world. Money is just a generic form of power. We have 10 kinds of power that combined can change the world, and have. All right, story number one. I grew up as an environmentalist from the start. I was very concerned about death, personal death after my grandfather died, my beloved grandfather died. And I thought, that's bad. I'm going to die. And then I looked around and I said, oh my God, the planet's going to die. It's not just me. It's like the entire planet's going to die. And you have 10 years to change this. And it turns out we've had 10 years every year since. And we've managed to slither through. But there's a path to get us to a point where we don't have to have a 10-year timeline facing us all the time. We can move into a time where we have 1,000 years or 10,000 years to look forward. And that's the culture that I think we're entering. Okay, story. To get this done, in 5th grade, I heard about the bottle bill, deposit laws on beverage containers. And I said, that's a perfect system. We should do that in California, a circular economy, that cycles our resources, that can help to save us. So I said, I'm going to get a bottle bill in California. And I fought and fought and fought against the evil beverage and packaging and all the industries that were lined up against us. And we lost and lost and lost. Because how are you going to beat that combination of power? So I switched strategies and I began to engage with my adversaries. And among the most powerful, for me, was Bill Coors, have Coors Brewing Company. He secretly wanted a bottle bill type system, called a closed loop system, but he couldn't do it because he was blocked by the retailers, and the retailers had control of the marketplace and would not allow a recycling system completely. They didn't want to take containers back. That lesson, and by the way, we took that lesson. I gained the support of the retailers in California for this policy by making it a better policy, cheaper policy, better for them, better for everybody. And the consequence of that was that we passed a law, and then passed another law, and passed another law, and passed another law. And as of about 2 months ago, we have, from that small group of people, recycled 500 billion cans, bottles, computers, electronics, tires, quarts of motor oil. We initiated a system that has thrived, and I don't even know how to measure 500 billion. The real lesson there is the power that retailers have to drive that change. It was when we realized that we needed to get retail brands aboard, but they could drive the change. So that's number one. Story number two, in the rainforest, I engaged with Rainforest Action Network and the Mitsubishi companies in a battle, a global boycott, and introduced them to each other and helped them to become allies of each other. And the consequence of that was that the Mitsubishi companies became the first to commit to sustainable timber products throughout their supply chain. And once they committed, 400 other companies committed, including Home Depot, the largest retail channel. And that drove a transformation in the global forestry industry and saved millions of acres of rainforest all over the world and started a process that continues today. But the real lesson that I learned there was not, again, how to leverage the power of retail and consumer brands to drive change. It was that we can not only learn how to save the rainforest, but the rainforest can teach us how to save ourselves. That the rainforest is the place where all creative life emerged, including our own. And it did that because it and all forms of life follow 4 phases of development. And that is birth, when 1,000 different types of seeds sprout from the ground. But the ones that excel are the energy intensive, materials intensive, the ones who soak up the sun and suck up the minerals in the soil fastest. Those are the growth species. And that growth phase lasts a relatively short period of time. E is, for us, our industrial phase. It's the phase that we are topping out with. And our challenge is that we are desperately trying to hold on to that phase of growth. But what comes next is even better. In the rainforest, the high growth species then create niches. And within those niches, all the other seeds begin to thrive and will begin to connect with one another. And as they connect with one another, emergent qualities come forth. And that long period of diversification and variation is where sustainability happens. And at moments, there are transformations, both negative transformation. Well, I don't know if death is a negative transformation, frankly, but positive transformations as the right combination of parts yield a whole which is greater than the sum of those parts. We are now on the precipice, I think, of either a great fall and a collapse, or an understanding of the place we are at in the ecosystem. We're a part of this natural system that if we live by the principles of the rainforest, that we can make changes happen by liberating the ecosystem. We are doing this in real time. EarthX, a creation of Trammell Crow down in Dallas, Texas, we're bringing together 10 types of power, as I said earlier. The most important are the donors, the activist groups, and the retailers. They will all be there, and together they can drive 10 types of global change that will transform our relationship to nature, and it is not that difficult. So with 8 seconds to go, I want to invite you all to participate in a monthly Zoom call where we are right now engaging in conversations about these 10 changes and brain the people that can make them together. And then please come to Dallas and do it. Get your tickets.
To sound marketing-y, what is radical discounts right now.
But get your tickets right now and make the commitment to be there, because we are going to trigger change. So thank you again for the work that you're doing. I'm thrilled to be here. Let me know if I could be of service to you. And I know the genius that you each bring to this, and when you combine that genius together, change happens that is impossible to predict, but wonderful to experience. Thank you.